Elon Musk stood up in a packed legal forum and said, "Justice Barrett, how do you define neutrality after a $10 million donation?" What happened next froze the entire room. He questioned a Supreme Court justice, Lev. What she said next, no one expected. Before we dive in, hit like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. Because when Elon Musk walks into a legal forum and corners a Supreme Court justice, you know it's not going to end quietly. The Constitutional Tech Forum in Washington, D.C. wasn't supposed to be exciting. But when Elon Musk entered the oak-paneled hall, gray suit, eyes locked, no smile, the room changed temperature. On stage sat Justice Amy Coney Barrett, poised and unshaken, answering a moderator's question about IE and legal boundaries. Then Elon raised his hand. "Your Honor," he said, calm but cutting, "can a judge truly claim neutrality after accepting $10 million in donations from private tech lobbies?" The room gasped. Barrett blinked once, then twice. "Mr. Musk, I'm not sure what you're implying." Elon reached into his briefcase. "No implication, Justice, just documentation." He lifted a thin black folder and laid it flat on the moderator's table. "I'd like you to take a look at page 12. The cameras didn't move. The moderator didn't breathe. Even Barrett's aide took a step forward, but stopped. Barrett stared at the folder, her hand hovering over it. What was inside that Musk was so sure of? And would opening it rewrite the very idea of judicial independence? Barrett's fingers trembled, just enough for anyone watching closely to notice. She opened the folder slowly, page by page. Then she reached 12. Her eyes scanned, then stopped, then widened, line after line of financial contributions, all legal, all declared, but all from the same 3 tech firms. One's currently under federal investigation for AI data harvesting. Elon stepped forward, but didn't speak. He didn't have to. The screen behind them flickered to life. A graph appeared. Donation timelines, aligned perfectly with case dismissals from Barrett's chamber over the last 18 months. A journalist near the front whispered, "This can't be coincidence." Barrett straightened her back, forcing her voice steady. These donations were legal, fully transparent. Elon nodded. "Legal? Perhaps. But ethical?" She didn't answer. He continued, "Imagine if the judge in your case had this pattern. Would you trust the ruling?" Barrett inhaled sharply, then fell silent. The room, packed with policymakers, attorneys, law students, didn't make a sound. Someone dropped a pen. It echoed like thunder. Musk lowered his tone, almost soft now. "I don't want your resignation, Justice. I want your reflection." But would reflection be enough? Or was the line between law and influence already too blurred to redraw? Justice Barrett stared at the graph glowing behind her. For the first time, her voice caught. "I wasn't aware the patterns looked like this," she said quietly. A ripple moved through the crowd. Not shock, not outrage. Something quieter. Recognition. Musk didn't move closer. He didn't raise his voice. He simply said, "You're not the enemy. But the system, it's quietly building its own." Barrett looked down at the folder again. The numbers, the dates. Her grip on the podium loosened. Elon continued, "I came here expecting resistance. What I didn't expect was that you'd listen." Barrett met his eyes. "You're assuming I agree with your conclusions." "No," Elon replied. "I'm hoping you'll challenge mine with something better." The moderator remained frozen. The audience held their breath. Barrett glanced at her aide, then leaned into the microphone. I will request a third-party audit of all recent recusal decisions, starting with my own. Gasps, applause. One law student shouted, "Finally!" But Elon's face remained unreadable. Because this wasn't about applause. It was about what would come next. Would the audit clear her name or uncover truths neither side was ready to face? By morning, the video had over 37 million views. Clips of Elon's words flooded X, Instagram, even LinkedIn. "I don't want your resignation, Justice. I want your reflection." It was dubbed the sentence heard around the court. News outlets from every political stripe covered it. Barrett bows to pressure? Elon Musk unveils judicial hypocrisy. The day the court got called out by a CEO. At coffee shops, law schools, and breakfast tables, everyone was asking, was she genuine? Barrett released a short public statement. "I've initiated an independent review of judicial impartiality protocols, not as a reaction, but as a responsibility." The response was split. Some applauded, some scoffed, but most just watched. Meanwhile, inside a quiet Tesla boardroom, Elon sat with his leadership team. "This isn't a win," he said. "It's a breach in the wall." One engineer asked, "Do you think she'll follow through?" Elon didn't answer immediately. He tapped the screen showing a live feed from the Supreme Court website. The audit listing was already published. He just said, "She moved first. That matters." But was that movement the start of a march, or just one step in a system built to stay exactly where it is? It was a quiet Thursday evening. Inside a minimalist glass office overlooking the Potomac, two chairs faced each other. Amy Coney Barrett sat on one side. No robe, no cameras, just a navy sweater and a hard truth in her eyes. Elon Musk sat opposite, black t-shirt, fingers laced, unreadable. Barrett exhaled. "I didn't know how deep it went," she said. "But I should have." Musk didn't speak. "I won't defend it," she added. "Only fix what I can from where I sit." She reached into her bag and slid a small silver pin across the table. It read, "Serve in light." It was an internal ethics medal, rarely issued, never publicly seen. "You gave me no choice but to see differently," she said. "That matters." Elon picked up the pin, ran a finger along its edge. "Justice," he said softly, "isn't about being right. It's about being ready when truth walks in the room." They sat in silence, not awkward, not forced, earned. Outside, DC lights flickered across the river. Elon placed the pin in his pocket, then extended a hand. Barrett took it, and for the first time, they didn't look like opponents. They looked like guardians of a system they'd both dared to question. But would this private moment change a public machine, or just echo quietly between two people who finally listened? 9 months later, in a quiet law school classroom in Austin, a student raised her hand. What sparked the Judicial Oversight Reform Act? The professor smiled. Technically, a conversation between a tech CEO and a Supreme Court justice. Cut 2, a bulletin board covered in news clippings. Barrett orders internal review. Musk's challenge sparks nationwide transparency movement. 10 judges recuse themselves after audit. The landscape had shifted. Quietly. Structurally. In a Tesla design lab, Elon Musk stood in front of a prototype called Equiledger, an AI-powered tool for tracking public funding decisions built to flag ethical inconsistencies. In the Supreme Court chambers, Barrett quietly passed a procedural motion requiring mandatory public audit trails for financial disclosures. No one clapped. No cameras flashed. But something had moved. At a small speaking event, Barrett addressed a group of first-year law students. "I once thought accountability was about defending the past," she said. "But now, I think it's about building a future that doesn't need defending." In the back row, a student wore a black t-shirt with white text. "Truth walks in." The legacy wasn't loud, but it was lasting. Now it's your turn. Will you speak truth to power, or wait until someone else does it for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share if you believe justice should never be above questioning.